Idalia intensifies into a Category 1 hurricane. This is Typhoon Documentaries, and we're bringing the latest update on Hurricane Idalia. Latest position at 4 AM CDT or 9 AM UTC on August 29th is 23.1 degrees north, 85.0 degrees west. The latest NHC analysis shows maximum sustainment of 65 knots or 120 km per hour, slightly increasing from the previous 55 knots advisories, and shall be declared the third hurricane in the Atlantic hurricane season. This shall be supported by aircraft hunters from NOAA3 Mission number 8, showing surface winds approaching 65 knots just located in the southeastern quadrant. CIMSS ADT analysis is slightly lower from the center's analysis, probably due to the storm's organization is still improving at the point, showing a CI of 3.8, equivalent to an intensity estimate of 61 knots, or 113 km per hour. IR imagery continues to depict a center with a large area of deep convection, with broad convective bands located in the southern semicircle. Currently, environmental conditions are rather conducive for the storm to steadily consolidate and intensify, featuring low vertical wind shear of 10 knots in the entire area, with warm sea surface temperature located in the southern parts of Gulf of Mexico reaching 29 degrees Celsius, supporting sufficient ocean heat content to create a well environment for rapid intensification cycles. A tropical storm warning is in effect from Yucatan Peninsula, from Tulum to Rio Lagratos, ISO of Cuba, Dry Tortugas in Florida, Chokoloskee to the middle of Longboat Key, west of Indian Pass to Mexico Beach, and Sebastian Inlet, Florida to Altamaha Sound, Georgia. A hurricane warning is placed under the Cuba's province of Pinar del Rio and from the middle of Longboat Key to Indian Pass. Hurricane watch is issued from Anglewood to the middle of Longboat Key too. As the storm slowly accelerates to the northeast, the northern portions of Florida are expected to experience tropical storm force winds impact, and it shall start affecting the western coast by midnight of Wednesday, and could reach the southeastern tip of Georgia in the morning of Wednesday. In terms of rainfall, the entire Florida is expected to experience some heavy rain, with the heaviest rain located near Tampa, reaching up to around 5 to 7 inches. Lakeland and Gainesville are expected to have 4 inches of rain, while Cape Coral and Orlando shall have 3 inches of downpour. The eastern portions of the state, including Coral Springs, Port St. Lucie, Palm Bay, and Jacksonville, shall have rain varying from 1 to 2 inches. In terms of flash flooding, the storm could trigger surge and excessive rainfall, which induced flooding in places of Jacksonville, California, and Savannah, Georgia, where there are currently a moderate risk of flash flooding, with most of the southeastern portion of the United States placed with a marginal risk. As the storm is expected to make landfall as a major hurricane, it could trigger high and destructive waves along the coast. Latest predictions stated that the majority of Florida's west coast would experience peak surge varying from 1 to 12 feet, with the highest situated from Ottilia River to Charles House reaching 8 to 12 feet. In result, a storm surge warning is in effect for Anglewood to Indian Pass, and a watch is also issued within the areas of Chokoloskee to Anglewood, and mouth of the St. Mary's River to South Santee River in South Carolina. Moreover, swells generated by the storm are affecting portions of Cuba currently, and could cause life-threatening waves and conditions. It shall later spread into the northern parts of the eastern Gulf Coast later too. Thunderstorms by Idalia could also trigger tornadoes touching down along Florida, with a slight 5% chance of tornadoes touching down along the southwestern coast in 2 days. NHC's forecast cone stated the storm shall continue to accelerate towards the northeast and steadily intensify into a low and major hurricane, packed with maximum sustainments of 195 km per hour, before making landfall in the western coast of Florida. Model guidance is in good agreement with the storm's motion, but is more varied in the intensity guidance, with some models like HFSB stating peak intensity approaching 120 knots, a Category 4 major hurricane. More information will be provided in our shorts advisory at around 8 AM CDT today. For further information, please seek official info from the National Hurricane Center or consult products from your local weather office.